teams in this tournament. St. Joe's and Maryland, the other two, Penn and American, will face off later today, but we're underway here. Two teams both nearing the top 10 of the rankings, trying to advance up the NFHCA polls. It starts with the Hawks. Hawks are in the red and black uniforms going right to left. Terps in white going left to right. And they'll start with it. Terps are able to get out to a fast start on Friday against Penn. Got in front from a goal from Macy Bradford. That was one of two that she had against the Quakers. Long pass towards the far side, received by Kleinout. Kleinout into the freshman, Maya Adamson, but the whistle blows and St. Joe's will take it the other way. The other side, the Hawks just eked out a 1-0 win on Friday against American. That was a stout American team that has a lot of experience to it. And, you know, these two teams very much defense-oriented. But this tournament, I think, has been kind of a test of offenses for all four in the tournament.
Well, and I mean, Maryland, when they score first, are, you know, nearly flawless in the last year. They're 4-7 when they don't score first. So the game plan for St. Joseph's, can you get that first goal on the board?
Let's see what they can do here with their first sustained possession on offense. Here's Buffington. Up the near side, being chased by the reigning Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year in Josie Holloman. The whistle will keep St. Joe's in possession. Here's Ava Smith. Lost it. And now the Terps will go the other way. Adamson navigating, but she gets her pocket picked. Open lane here. Knopert takes her defender to the ground, but no whistle called. Here's Ella Gaitan to the near side with Josie Holloman. Holloman, one of the two captains on this team, alongside Erica Morris-Adams, who gets it here. Morris-Adams up to Kleinout. Down in the middle with Fair. Maryland, I mean, the depth is really, I think, a big part of their team this year. There's so many different players that can score. You look at someone like Ella Gaitan, who's the main scoring attack on paper, but in reality, Macy Bradford has led the way with scoring as well. Jordan Holloman has been good support for the Terps. Terps have it here, just trying to get it out of their own backyard. Here's Callie Rogers, the sophomore. Lost it briefly, and St. Joe's will go the other way. St. Joe's sit at a 3-1 record. Terps at 3-2. As we mentioned in the open, both the Terps losses against ranked teams. So this is a early test here, but this is also the first time that they've faced a ranked team at home, which could be the difference. Of course, with Missy Maharg, one of the great field hockey coaches of all time. I mean, it's hard to beat the Terps in general, but it's even more difficult to beat them at home.
And for St. Joseph's, they're still seeking their first win as a program against Maryland, 0-5 all time.
That was Jordan Holloman trying to work into the circle, but unable to. Here come the Hawks the other way. This is Culp pushing it forward. Knopert not able to get to it. And now Josie Holloman's got to play some defense here. Lost it, and Eichelboom able to get it for the Terps. Holloman into the middle with Knopert. Knopert now her second season with the Terps after transferring over from Ball State. She was decorated there, two-time All-MAC first team there. She's been a worthy addition to this Maryland team in the past handful of seasons. Here's Morris-Adams. She'll go back into the middle with Knopert. Out of the near side with Holloman. Nice pass up the line to find Rogers. Holloman goes back to Knopert. But this Maryland team, you know, we talked to Morris-Adams and Holloman before the season started, and the big word that was thrown around about the Terps this year was chemistry. And not only on the field, but just a sense of friendship and the bond that this team has. The Terps really believe that it's something that could carry them pretty far, not only in the Big Ten, but in potentially the NCAA tournament as well. The Terps are a mainstay in the conversation among the best field hockey teams in the country, but in the past few years, they haven't gotten the job done. They've had some early exits in the playoffs, last making the Final Four back in 2022. The last 2 seasons, they've exited in the first or second round. As the pass served in will turn possession over to the Hawks.
And I mean, that's in direct contrast. I mean, last season was a storybook year for St. Joseph's. Made it all the way to the NCAA championship where they faced Northwestern.
St. Joe's just have been really on the upward climb. And, you know, that was 2024 was a year where they lost a game in the A10, which hadn't happened the previous 2 years, and yet they went further in that tournament. But 2023 and 2022, they went 7-0 in the A10. And this game for the Hawks represents a final go-around before at least the conference opener versus St. Louis. That's on the 19th. Of course, after they play St. Louis, there's a couple of games that are out of conference. But this is a good litmus test here for this St. Joseph's team that lost a lot of players from last season. But how much talent is left over, I think this game will be a pretty good indicator.
And they lost significant impact talent, 2 of their top 5 scorers all time in goals and points. Trying to see which of these transfers can step up and replace that production.
Erica Culp trying to chase it down for the Hawks. Terps able to keep possession for the moment. Holloman flicks it upfield. Whistle blows and Terps will keep possession. Long pass controlled by the sophomore Gaitan. After the whistle, she gets it taken away. Here's Arentz in the middle. Halfway through this first quarter, no score here in the first game of this Big Ten Plus doubleheader. American and Penn will finish off the Terrapin Invitational later today. I think for many fans here that came to watch this weekend of field hockey, this was the marquee game. Here's Leah Horwitz checking into the game. Back out to the freshman, Aaron Callahan. Up the field it goes to Goldstein. Went out before that. It's 11 new additions to this Maryland team. 10 of them are freshmen. 1 of them is a transfer. That's Ella Fair, who was in this game earlier. Served into the middle. Looking for Goldstein. Too high for her stick, and it goes out of play. It'll be the former Terp, Adele Jardimar, to put it back in play here as we reach 6 minutes remaining in this opening frame. Down the near side it goes, and it will trickle out. Maya Everett checking into the game for the first time for Maryland. As you mentioned, Adam, this is just a different Terps team when they score second versus when they score first. So in this kind of game, you get the feeling that the opening goal will be maybe the most significant one. Here's Buffington. Hands it off. Shot on Klobasco, deflected. Terps will take it the other way quickly.
And that's a rare sight for Buffington, who boasts one of the best shot on goal percentages in the country. Last season, 86.4%.
Here's Everett. You can always tell when Maya's on the ball with that distinct bandana she wears with the Maryland State flag on it. It's become kind of a trademark of her game. 5 minutes remain in this opening quarter. No score here. St. Joe's has the only shot in this game. It's just been 1-0 as both teams try to figure out their game plan here. Here's Callahan. To the near side with Knoper. Goes further up. Looking for Eichelboom, and he's a little slow to get up after falling to the ground. Here's Knoper. Quick pass in the middle with A.J. Ayer. Now she goes back to Fair. Holloman. A short pass, but Callahan couldn't control it. And the Hawks will go the other way. This is what we've seen so far. It's been, I wouldn't call them sustained possessions, but the majority of this game so far has been played in the middle of the field. Neither team having much of an attack so far. Terps trying to change that with under 4 to play in this first quarter. Long pass goes into the goal, but too far out to count. Keft will just dig it out of the cage, and St. Joe's will go the other way.
And both of these teams are defense first. You know, they're built to win 1-0 games, not, 4-3. So we're not going to see anyone sell out for offense early, especially when they, have such faith in their defense that, we were getting chess comparisons last week, Daniel, for Maryland.
I mean, St. Joe's hasn't scored more than 2 goals in a game all season long, and they weren't able to do so on Friday versus an unranked American team.
But St. Joseph's have certainly been stung by, the defense-first model. They've played already 3 games this season that were decided by 1 goal. 2 of them went to overtime. They're 1-1 in those 2 overtime matchups.
On the other side, Maryland has shown that they have the ability to score, but just finding that offense in these ranked games has been the challenge so far. Terps trying to get it onto the opposite side. Nice pass through the middle to find Adamson. Working against Culp. She dishes it off. Callahan to the far side. Here's Everett with a nifty move to work into St. Joe's territory. Everett wills it up. There's Jordan Holloman open. Holloman plays it through. Bradford. Keft comes out of goal. And there's a fight for it that Bradford was unable to keep in bounds. So we get a green card issued here. Let's take a look.
Green card issued for, looks like the stick contact late there.
There's a nifty move by Macy, just trying to kind of flip the ball over the goalie Keft. But in the end, doesn't end up working. There's Brooke James dishing it off to Lane Delmont, the grad student. Backward she goes to Tristan Groff. James the junior, the sole goal scorer in that Friday game against the Eagles. Played up towards Maddie Vasilios, unable to stay in play. Possession switches hands as we reach the final 90 seconds here this first quarter. Maryland in the penalty here with the green card against them. Here's James. Tried to push further up the field, but possession will change hands. Knoper going quickly, finding Bradford in the middle. Bradford runs into a stiff challenge, and the whistle not blown in her favor. Final minute here in this first frame. No score here, St. Joe's with the ball. St. Joe's trying to mount one last attack before the end of the quarter. It goes out of play. Final 30 seconds of possession should be with the Terps here. Morris Adams goes backwards to Holloman. Kleinout goes back. And the final seconds tick down here in the first quarter. The horn sounds.
Trying to see if they can run it back this season.
20-4 was the record for the Hawks last season on their way to NCAA runner-up spot. And they stand at 3-1 here as the second quarter gets underway. Terps had it for a moment and they'll keep possession. Fair will slash it to the side. It's a Maryland team last year that scored 47 goals as a team. They outscored their opponents 47-20. I think they would have preferred to score more over the course of last season, going 8-4 at home, 4-1 on the road. And this year, a similar sentiment probably of wanting to kind of get out on offense more. They know the defense is there, especially with that returning back line of Erica Morris-Adams and Josie Holloman and Alyssa Klobasco in goal, who we've barely mentioned because there just hasn't really been any offensive chances.
And I mean, for Maryland this year, so far they've struggled with shot quality. They have the lowest shot percent in the Big Ten so far. So trying to make the most of their chances that they're creating, optimizing them will certainly help them get a few more goals across in the next few games.
There's certainly something to be said for, being successful with a small amount of shots. Being clinical is, of course, an aspect of a team that you would want in your attack. But I think if you're Missy Maharg or any of these Maryland attackers, you just follow that principle that, the more volume of shots you have, the generally better outcomes you're going to get. But so far in this game, it has been a defensive battle here. Just one combined shot from these two teams. Terps able to take away on the near side. It's a pass intended towards the circle. It goes off the foot of Milu Clout on the junior defenders. Vasilios trying to swing through a couple of defenders. Knopert plays it back into the middle. Here's a shot on goal, saved. Kleinout got to it quickly, but Keft was there quicker. Terps still with it on offense. Kleinout wanted an infraction on the Hawks. You take a look at another look here.
Nice diving deflection, and this is a completely different defensive assignment for St. Joseph's with such a deep Maryland offense where really anyone could score at any time. In contrast, Maryland are protecting against a few specific players, namely new graduate student Ava Smith, where if you can stop what's more of a top-heavy offense for St. Joseph's, you reduce that pressure, you give yourself more possessions, open yourself up for turnovers.
St. Joe's tried to form a counter, but Holloman cut it off. Up the field to Eichelboom. Holloman faces a double team, goes back to the freshman Maya Adamson. The Australian goes to the American in Callahan. Now to Kleinout. With all of the freshmen on this Maryland team, the fact that as many as they have kind of snuck their way into the starting lineup goes to show the recruiting talent that Missy Maharg has maintained for a long time. Bradford had it for a moment within the circle, but nice work there by St. Joe's to get that ball out of bounds. They'll take possession.
Freshmen have certainly been a big source of Maryland's production this year. I mean, Jordan Holloman, younger sister of Josie Holloman, already has 7 points and the third most shots in the Big Ten.
Here's another freshman here, Adamson. Goes backwards to Holloman. Callahan finds Morris Adams. Her pass was deflected. And taken away here by St. Joe's. Terps will make some substitutions. Leah Horwitz will check back in, as will Callie Rogers. Almost 5 minutes passed here in the second quarter. Controlled along the near side by the Hawks. They cross it into the middle. Klobasco gets the ball with her pad and kicks it away. Terps working up the near side. Jordan Holloman had it taken away, but Ella Fair there to cut it off.
We'll take another look, as this is the best offensive opportunity St. Joseph's have had today, but Alyssa Klobasco, considered the king for Coach Maharg, shuts it down.
Klobasco, in her 45th career appearance, has just been an institution in cage. Two-time Big Ten All-Second team. Two-time Big Ten All-Tournament team. Also played in the Junior Pan American Games this past summer. And was one of the Big Ten players to watch on this Terps squad. Terps are happy to have her in goal.
And she certainly has momentum. She had her season high in saves with 5 against Penn, but interestingly, she has her fewest shutouts in the first 5 games of any season she's played this year. So Maryland will certainly hope that she can sharpen up.
Yeah, and defense isn't all just kind of piled on the goalkeeper. I mean, there's so many different things that go into it, especially for a Maryland team that is as experienced and focuses on defense as much as they do. But Klobasco, like I think a lot of people on this Maryland team, were hoping for different results in that Big Ten ACC Challenge. You know, they faced a Boston College team who they took care of last year in that same tournament, and Duke has kind of been the thorn in the side of the Terps, but they weren't able to beat the Blue Devils either. But now they return home here. They took care of business on Friday against Penn, and they're looking to go for the sweep here. Holloman plays it up. Finds Brinkley Ayer, the freshman. Here's Klein out. He wills it forward, but Rogers couldn't haul it in. Possession will go the other way.
And Maryland are elite at closing out the Terrapin Invitational. Since it began in 1996, they have never lost a Sunday game in the tournament. That's 28-0 in that span.
This tournament has been going on for a long time, but Missy Maharg was still a seasoned coach even in 1996 with the Terps. Fight for possession in the attacking third, but St. Joe's have it. Here's Jardimar. Rogers able to take it away, made a couple of nifty moves, and he got taken down on the outskirts of the circle before Jardimar reclaims it. About halfway through the second quarter here, still no score on Big Ten Plus. Been a good one so far. Maryland against St. Joe's. Teams fighting here on this Sunday afternoon. St. Joe's will play it out of the back. Rolls it upfield. Here's Brooke James. James with a nifty pass to find the grad student Delmont. AJ Ayer had it for a minute. Now Erica Culp, the All-A-10 second team nom, had it. Klein out. Up the field to Gaitan. Tried to tap it along towards Rogers. And Callie Rogers, an interesting story on this team. She missed all of last season with an injury, but she was consistently someone that Missy Maharg brought up as a player to kind of look out for. And yeah, obviously when you're coming off of a severe injury, you never really know how you're going to do when you come back, but her start has definitely been an uplifting story for the Terps.
Rogers rewarded that faith on Friday. She got her first career assist versus Penn, and she's been starting every game. Doesn't look like there's a minute restriction.
Here's Winter. Goes backwards. Gets it back. St. Joe's working into the corner. Couple of Terps there for it. It's Fair. He's able to corral possession and bring it into the corner. Goes out. Maryland will stay with it here as the clock ticks under 6 minutes to play in this first half. 2 shots for St. Joe's, one of them on goal and one on goal for the Terps, but that's been their only shot. No penalty corners yet as well. So when we said earlier that defense was going to be the name of the game, we weren't lying. Here's Callahan. Across to Morris Adams. Sharp pass controlled by Knopert and returned to the captain, Morris Adams. Knopert into the middle. Here's Brinkley Air. Finds her sister AJ. Everett just able to keep it in play, but she rolls it right to the junior Culp. Culp looking for a centering pass will just work against Callahan. Nodded off and played into the middle. Controlled by the Hawks, but taken away by the Terps. Well done by Ella Fair. Fair, a sophomore transfer from VCU, a player who led VCU in goals. I mean, this is a player that St. Joe's is very familiar with. All A-10 second team, all rookie team last season, and she's played more in the back for the Terps, but making plays there on the other end.
I'm sure they're not too thrilled to see her again after how good she's been in the A-10.
Clout will just go to her right, to Jardimar, for getting it returned. Long pass down the field, nobody home for the Hawks. Terrapins will take possession. Substitutions will be made. Annemine Kleinout checks back in here for the Terps. Maya Everett comes out. Hallman plays it up. Finds the freshman Adamson. Holloman pressured to Fair in the middle to Knopert. She's got room to work. Her pass deflected into the middle. Adamson able to corral it and hit Klein out. Under 3 minutes to play now in this first half. Callahan thought she was able to take it away from the Hawks, but St. Joe's will keep it. Long pass into the circle, batted down by Knopert. Knopert finds Eichelboom. Just so much of this game, Adam, has been played in the middle third of the field. And there really haven't been any chances for either team in the middle, even when they get into the attacking third. Anytime St. Joe's has worked into Maryland territory, they've been restricted to the corners.
I mean, we've only seen about one sequence for each team where it looked like they had a real chance of making a shot on goal, but just unable to capitalize. And I mean, this is, you can see that there's just a lack of, not urgency, but pressure when you know that you're such a talented defensive team that you hope that eventually one goal will find its way through, but you don't need to sell out for it in a way that you would if you didn't trust your defense. You need to score more.
There's Knopert. Works up the near side. And just returns it to Holloman. Upfield to Eichelboom. It's the step on her defender. He's able to weave through a bit of traffic.
Set it up! Set one up! Set it up, please!
Terps setting up on the outskirts of the circle here with a minute to go in the half. Holloman serves it into the middle. Deflected and out of play. Vasilios, the nearest Terp. And we might have our first penalty corner here, just 59 seconds away from the second half.
Penalty corners have been an interesting story for Maryland this season. Entering Friday's game against Penn, they were 1 for their last 15, but they did deliver against Penn, so can they keep that momentum going? Because when Maryland scores first, they're near flawless in the past 2 years. When they score twice, they have not lost since September 2023. So we know the formula for these Terrapins. St. Joseph's knows the formula. That's why they're playing so tough defensively. But can Maryland deliver?
It'll be Bradford to insert. Just get the feeling this is one of those opportunities that can't afford to miss if you're either team here. Bradford lays it in, put down by Kleineout. Shot by Fair, deflected and repelled by St. Joe's. Not a lot of velocity on that shot. Now the Hawks will go on the counter. Callahan able to chase down the ball. We'll work it into the middle. Kleineout finds Knopert. Knopert pass across, just goes through everyone, but Eichelboom able to get to it. 20 seconds here, the Terps. Do they have a final shot in them? They'll keep possession. Eichelboom to Holloman. Holloman works through one Hawk, but it goes the other way. And that is where the first half will come to an end. We're underway here as both teams will switch sides. Maryland now going right to left. St. Joe's will go left to right. But yeah, you mentioned that this has just been a defensive battle. Just 4 combined shots from these teams, 1 each on goal. And there's only been 1 penalty corner that came from Maryland at the end of the half. And they weren't able to convert on it. Here's St. Joe's looking for the first attack of the second half. Smith dishes it off. Nice work by Adamson, able to take the ball away, and now the Terps will just serve it out of their own half. Here come the Terps on the opposite end. Jordan Holloman looking for a shot on Keft. She drops it off to Bradford. Bradford tried to spin through a couple Hawks, but no luck. Jardimar with a nice move against the freshman Holloman.
And Daniel, you mentioned that penalty corner from the end of the second quarter. That's indicative of Maryland's offensive struggles recently. You know, that was a shot where they didn't really have much opportunity, but that penalty corner did give them a chance near St. Joseph's goal. You know, you can be patient, try and work around it, but selling out for a shot that was not destined for goal might sting if this ends up a 1-0 game.
And especially with as few chances as there have been in this game so far. We mentioned it in the moment, but just any penalty corner could be significant. Here are the Hawks on the opposite end. Smith looking to serve it into the middle. She does, and Culp not able to take care of it. Rolls out of bounds. Terps will get possession the other way. Alyssa Klobasco in goal, just hasn't really had to do a ton in this game. To credit to both teams' defense, and Klobasco, of course, a great goalie, but if her number isn't called, then you know she's just standing there. Bradford into the middle to Adamson. Adamson plays it in to the circle, but it's deflected out. St. Joe's not able to create that sustained possession. And neither team really has, and that's been kind of a theme of this game. We mentioned it in the first half, just everything has been in the middle of the field. It's a testament to the defenses of both teams. Nice work by Bradford, able to poke it away. Bradford works up the near side, gets chased down. Both teams just trying to create winning streaks here, as these were the two winners on Friday. As we mentioned, St. Joe's took care of American 1-0 just 2 days ago, and the Terps in the first game of the tournament took care of Penn 3-1. Couple deflections put St. Joe's with the ball here as we reach the first couple minutes past here in the second half.
That's good.
Into the middle, here's Fair. Now to Holloman. Holloman rolls it along. You know, it was interesting talking before the season with Erica Morris-Adams and Josie Holloman about kind of the communication, because we talked about previously how these two teams have, or this Maryland team, I should say, has very good chemistry with one another in a way that they hadn't really seen in previous years, and that really comes to play in the back line. And we asked Morris-Adams about Klobasco and what her role with this team is, and a lot of it was more about not only, okay, she's a brick wall back there, that's what Morris-Adams said, but also telling people where to go, just being knowledgeable about the game is a real big quality that you would want in a keeper. As you take a look at the replay here.
And this granted Maryland their second penalty corner of the day, and we'll see, can they improve from that second quarter one where it really did not feel like they maximized their opportunity.
Will be Adamson to insert. Second penalty corner of the game for Maryland. It's put down. Gaitan takes a shot that's tipped over, and Jordan Holloman almost had a deflection into the goal. That was a nice play drawn up there by the Terps, but
so we'll take another look at it again. Maryland doing a better job not to sell out for that shot, but instead try and look for a deflection on the side. That's definitely an improvement from the second quarter.
So now I think the job for Maryland just becomes, how can they get those penalty corners more frequently? Nice job by Josie Holloman cutting it off. Into the middle. Shot on goal by Gaitan. Not a clean one, and it will go the other way. That was Jordan Holloman, my mistake, who took it away, not her sister Josie, but great work by the freshman as she's continued to do. Here's another takeaway for the Terps. They'll try it again. Shot on goal to the left. Unable to score are the Terps, and they've had a couple of chances in just this past minute or so. Vasilios that time not able to find the cage.
We'll take another look at this shot, and we can see here, I mean, this is what happens when Maryland can just get it into St. Joseph's territory. They can apply more pressure, and that penalty corner gifted them that. So not giving away the ball there was critical to almost getting the first goal of this game.
Horwitz called for the infraction. St. Joe's will keep possession as Callie Rogers checks back in here. Almost halfway through this third quarter here, things still stand scoreless in College Park. Here's Jardimar. Works right up to the midline and dishes it off. Here's Winther. And the senior deals down the near side. Terp player went down. That's Maya Adamson, who's now back up. St. Joe's turns it over. Ellie Goldstein will check in here for the Terps. Maryland's had more chances in this third quarter than they previously did in the first half as a whole. But so far they have not been able to capitalize. Knoper works it upfield. Here's A.J. Ayer. Finds Klein out. Into the middle for the Hawks. Here's Clout. Someone who played in all 24 games last season for the Hawks. And we talked about all the transfers coming in for the St. Joseph's team, but there are a handful of remaining players, and she's one of them who played a pretty big role with the Hawks last season. Gaitan and Rogers near it for the Terps. Ayer trying to cut it off. And it's Goldstein who's finally able to deliver possession back to Maryland. Here's Holloman. Long pass into St. Joe's territory. Goldstein and Gaitan are near it, but Jardimar is able to wheel around him. Both teams were in the penalty. Now Maryland's out of it as Eichelboom checks back in. Rogers for a moment tried to work into the circle, but Jardimar, who's had a very good weekend, is able to take it away from her.
4, 3, 2.
So now St. Joe's will come out of the penalty here. Brooke James will check back in. The third quarter got off to a fast start with a couple of chances from the Terps, first on a penalty corner and then on a couple of breakaways. But then after that, things have slowed down a bit more here. Winther goes to Jardimar. Here's Emily Tamero. Transfer from Old Dominion, couldn't keep it in bounds. Maryland will take possession. Six combined shots. Maryland are ahead 4-2 and do hold the penalty corner advantage as well, but 2 green cards for Maryland this afternoon in addition. Here's Knoper. Nice pass into the middle to find Everett. Everett tried to continue centering, but her pass was deflected. St. Joe's working down the near side, but Fair works through a couple of Hawks to take possession. ECU transfer trying to work up the near side. It's taken out of bounds. Maryland will keep the ball. Here's Ayer. Sneaks one behind to Everett. Now the captain, Morris Adams, to the other captain in Holloman. Over to Knoper. Fleur tries to work through a couple of Hawks. Earns the infraction, keeps possession. Knoper still with it, and now the Terps turn it over.
For St. Joseph's to be holding even in this game is really a testament to them. They entered today as arguably one of the biggest underdog situations they've ever faced. Maryland have never lost in a Terrapin Invitational Sunday. They've also never lost to St. Joseph's.
Here's Arntz. Arntz a whistle, looks for a pass, and finds a partner in Culp. Culp deals it down to Brooke James. James into the middle, nobody home for St. Joe's. I'll give the Terps a scare. Klobasco didn't touch the ball, just let it roll through the circle. St. Joe's will keep possession here. This is really the first time in this quarter that we've seen the ball consistently be in the attacking third here for the Hawks. That's where we stand here with 3.5 to play in this third frame. Jardimar at the midfield line. Taken away. Goldstein with a breakaway opportunity and just one Hawk in front of her. Goldstein takes a shot, deflected. Great job by Clout making a play and preserving the scoreless tie. It's now 3 breakaways for the Terps in this third quarter, but St. Joe's has held strong. Jardimar, the native of France, over to the Dutch in Clout. St. Joe's into that attacking third again. Holloman went to the ground. St. Joe's will keep possession. Ooh, and now a player got hit in the face. That's Arentz, the junior transfer from Temple. And he got hit in the nose. But it'll set up the first penalty corner of the afternoon here for the Hawks. But before that, we may be heading towards a review here. Whistle blows, here's the insert. St. Joe's still looking for the shot, and it leaks to the opposite side. It couldn't exactly see what was going on there, but Klobasco got enough contact to it. St. Joe's will keep possession. Let's take another look.
So St. Joseph's thinking about what they want to do. They go for the shot, but they're kept on that left side where Klobasco is perfectly positioned. That's a testament to Maryland's line defense.
So good work by the Terps, but they're not out of the woods yet here. Long pass in the middle, cut off by the captain. Here's Jordan Holloman. Into the middle with Gaitan. Can the Terps counter off the penalty corner? Long pass forward. Macy Bradford is there. Keft comes at a goal. Bradford gets around her, takes a shot. It goes off the post. Arguably the best chance of the afternoon for the Terps. They're not done. Here's Eichelboom.
We'll take another look at Bradford's opportunity here. When Bradford has a point in a game this season, Maryland are undefeated. When defenses silence her, Terrapins have not won.
It's a good point, and Keft came at a goal a couple times this game, and that's really given the Terps trouble, and especially against someone like Macy Bradford, you know, a former teammate of Paige Keft. Some of that knowledge that Keft retained could come in handy. Now the Hawks just trying to build out of their own back line. Nice work by Delmont, able to run through a couple of Terps. Still with it here as Fair, in addition to Eichelboom chasing. St. Joe's called for the foul, and Maryland will go quickly. Controlled by Bradford on the far side. Bradford tried to take on Clout, but the defenseman wins it. Bradford plays it into the middle. Shot on goal. So close, but yet so far for the Terps. Kleinout was there, and right at the horn, Maryland were trying to break the tie, but in the end, we'll have to wait till the next quarter for... Terps will start with it. Bradford able to control it off of the scoop pass. Will this game go to overtime, or will one of these teams finally break the deadlock? A couple of St. Joe's passes were cut off by the Terps. Morris Adams goes across. Her pass intercepted. St. Joe's will go the other way with it. Hawks with the first chance of this fourth quarter. Into the middle. Knopert and Holloman were near it. Still in play as Knopert looks to get it out, which she does. Terps will try to take it the other way with Callie Rogers. And now Eichelboom to put it back in play. Eichelboom gets her pocket picked by Delmont. Up the field, cut off by Holloman through the first minute of this fourth quarter. Kept in by Culp. She just goes backwards. Missy Maharg watching on, emphasizing pressure here. With the amount of breakaways that the Terps had in that third quarter, that just might be the recipe for breaking the deadlock in this game. Here's Adamson with room to travel, able to work around one. Her pass popped up in the air, but Adamson keeps possession. Good run by the freshman. She dishes it off into the middle. Adamson still with it. She takes a shot. It is deflected off the cage. No chance for Keft to have to make a save, but nonetheless a good run there from the Australian.
We'll take another look at Adamson's shot, just offline. Wonder, could she have tried to pass it back, keep this possession going? That's what Maryland's going to have to do. They're going to have to put one really good possession together if they want to try and score a goal here.
Take a look at the shot discrepancy between these two teams. 8 for Maryland, but when it comes down to it, the St. Joe's interior defense has been really impressive in this game. Just 3 shots for the Hawks, who have it here. Here's James. Plays it along the near side. Out of play. Terps will take possession back. They've been really looking for Bradford on those high passes. They've seen some success with it, especially in that third quarter. Nice new move by Smith, able to navigate through, but her pass intercepted again. Knopert passes it along to Rogers. Rogers can be pretty slick with the ball at her stick. Shows a good ability to just kind of weave through defenders. I think what Missy Maharg wants in one of her midfielders. Here's a ball played into the middle. Defender fell down. Bradford takes a shot on goal. In front of goal, Knopert is near it. But that was Klein out, excuse me, but the Terps still happy with it. They earned the penalty corner.
Maryland keeps offensive pressure on. They create another penalty corner. So far 0 for 2 as we look at shot deflection and traffic right in front of the goal. But this could decide the game right here.
It's going to be the third penalty corner here for the Terps this afternoon. See only 1 for St. Joe's, but this is arguably the most important one. 11:25 remains in regular time.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
The Terps, Gaitan comes off. Haven't really called Ella Gaitan's name that much this afternoon. She's been quiet. But it just goes back to the lack of chances here for this Terps team. They've outshot St. Joseph's by 3 times, 9-3, but hasn't yielded any goals. 10 minutes remain here in the fourth. Still scoreless. To the near side with Tamero. Here's Tristan Groff, the sophomore. Klein out. Has played well today, and she's able to take it away. Hanneman still with it here as she crosses into St. Joe's territory. Tumbles to the ground as her pass deflected out of bounds by the Hawks.
We'll take another look at that fall.
It was Jardimar, her former teammate, came to challenge her. Adamson. Back to Knopert. Keeps the ball in play. She just has to go all the way back near midfield with Holloman. Holloman goes back to Knopert. Knopert weaving along the outskirts of the circle. Now has to retreat. Adamson stumbles but delivers it to the fellow freshman Callahan. Now into the corner with Bradford. Bradford not able to keep it in bounds. She thought it was still Maryland possession. The umpire says otherwise. Four substitutions made for St. Joe's, going with the different front line here. Played far down, far out of bounds. Here's AJ Ayer, tried to play in Horwitz on the far side. Terps have to retreat. Maryland has not played in an overtime game this season. St. Joe's have played in two. The first one of the year against number 11 UConn. That was a 2-1 win in shutout. And they lost in overtime to Penn State, another ranked team. Could we be heading for another overtime game here? Just 7.5 minutes left for either team to break the deadlock. Fair was close to it inside the circle. And it will go the other way here.
And overtime is unfamiliar territory for Maryland. They only had one regular season overtime game last year, opener against Louisville.
Here's Jordan Holloman. Finds her older sister in Josie, who goes to Knopert. But Knopert's pass called for the infraction, and it goes back to the Hawks.
And in previous quarters, we had seen gridlock just based on, strong defensive performances. This quarter, it's all been about turnovers. No one can put a possession together.
Both teams have just been switching possession pretty quickly here. But St. Joe's has had some trouble forming attacks through the back line. The Terps have been able to break away a couple of times, and they're going to have an opportunity here in St. Joe's territory. Fair tried to cut it off. Josie Holloman comes over for it, but the whistle blows. Just over 6 minutes remain here. Over halfway through this fourth quarter. Things still constant at 0-0. Jardimar tried to play it to the near side, but it was cut off by Bradford. This has just been a theme in the second half, is just these passes from the St. Joe's defenders have really not been accurate, as the Terps have just had great anticipation and been able to cut them off.
Maximizing that in the third quarter, but this quarter, it's just no one's stringing anything together. I mean, it's just being turned over in the same team side of the field.
There's Kleinout working against Culp. Clock continues to wind down. May not be red zone, but we're entering the witching hour here, deep in the fourth quarter. Holloman will come off, as will A.J. Ayer. Eichelboom and Adamson check back in here for the Terps. Now Macy Bradford checks in. Brinkley Ayer is off. Here's Callahan. To Knoper. Upfield it goes, but Eichelboom can't corral it. Final 4.5 minutes here from the Plex. Missy Mahar-Gonapi with that last foul. St. Joe's have it on the outskirts of the circle. Played backwards to Jardimar, the former Terp. Played into the middle. Controlled by the Hawks. Still on the outskirts of the circle. Culp goes backwards. Jardimar, their feet on the center line. Trying to deliver it into the attacking third towards Groff. It goes out of play. Terps have possession here with 3:39 to go. Klein out. Into the middle. Fair goes back to Holloman. Downfield, pass received by Callahan, who goes back to Knoper. But Callahan can't keep it in play. Possession just continues to switch hands here. Now 57 minutes into this one. Jardimar with Bradford pressuring. Klein out, able to get a stick to it. It goes out of play and hits one of the windows on the near side. I guess baseball's not the only sport you have to worry about a foul ball.
Our window is open, so I was actually a little concerned there.
Klein out, just bobbles the ball past a defender. Here's Fair. Right on the line. Served up, but batted down here by St. Joe's. Final 2 minutes and change in regulation. Some tight pressure, but Winther able to get through it. Delmont with it, goes out of play. St. Joe's keeps possession. Crunch time here for both teams. In the middle, deflected and served by Bradford. Bradford with a half turn. Finds Eichelboom on the far side. Missy Maharg is kind of pacing right in front of us. You can see her frustration. There's been so many chances for the Terps in this game, but none of them have been able to find their way into the cage.
And this is a must-win game for Maryland this season. They have a gauntlet coming up. 4 top 20 teams in their next 4. And it's the Terrapin Invitational. This is where Maryland has historically had great success. It would be troubling for the season if they were unable to deliver today.
Josie goes forward to Klein out. Makes a turn and sends one into the center circle. It's deflected. Terps trying to keep it in play, not able to, as we've reached the final minute here in regulation. Jardimar will play it through the back. Long pass intercepted by Klein out. Klein out into the middle. Fair plays it towards the center circle. Cut off. Shot by Eichelboom. Saved. Another shot by Bradford. Saved again. And the former Terf, Paige Keft, with a couple of huge saves. But she's not out of the woods yet. Maryland has a penalty corner with 39 seconds to go.
Take another look at that sequence that saved the game by Paige Keft. And Macy Bradford is exactly who Maryland needs to feed it to. She was unable to capitalize there, but it also helps to know this team as Paige Keft does. She was only here just a few years ago.
That second shot from Bradford. Jardimar, the other Terp, was also in there as well. So Maryland will take another penalty corner here. This one, the biggest in this game.
Maryland have steadily been improving in their penalty process, taking higher quality shots.
Bradford to insert. Set down. Jordan Holloman lays it off. Shot on goal, and the Terps have the lead. With 31 seconds to go, Ella Gaitan pounds one into the cage, and Maryland's ahead.
A massive moment for the Terrapins, who finally deliver on the penalty corner. That's been the story of this season. You can see here they were patient. They waited for their shot right there. That's improvement just in this own game.
The sophomore Gaitan grabs her third goal of the season, and the Terps are not out of it yet. But we talked about all through this game, whoever scored first, it was going to be a pivotal moment. Keft will be pulled at a goal here with 31 seconds to go. St. Joe's with the final attack. Kleineout immediately cuts it off. Rogers in the middle. Possession will go to the Terps. And Maryland can feel it now here.
16-2 when they score first.
Kleineout still with it. Just trying to hold on to possession for as long as you can. 5 seconds, it goes the other way, and the clock winds out. So Maryland sweeps the Terrapin Invitational, and on a last-second goal from their sophomore forward, Ella Gaitan, the Terps improve to 4-2 in 2025.